Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the crimes at which no one is talking about, which are traitorous so-called patriots and fellow Americans, but are now domestic terrorists, committed earlier this week. The crime that no one is talking about is felony murder. Now, every person that went into that building and stormed the Capitol and decided that they would take it upon themselves to try to overthrow the government, which in itself is a crime, and we can talk about that later, sedition, treason. Everyone else is going to say those things. Got it. Let the big news people talk about that. We're going to talk about the crime that will and should send every person that was part of it to prison for 25 years to life, no questions asked. And that crime is called felony murder. And what felony murder is when you are in the commission of a crime, someone is killed by whomever, it doesn't matter if it's the police or someone else, whether you have intent to kill someone, whether you have a firearm, whether you knew that that person was killed or going to be killed during the commission of a crime, and that crime, sedition, and also breaking and entering into a federal facility, which of course the U.S. Capitol is also a national monument. So those are two crimes just in itself, not to mention federal trespass. But in the commission of that crime, breaking into the U.S. Capitol, four people died. An officer and a lady was shot. One gentleman tased himself to death, and I think someone had a heart attack. But with those 4 deaths that I'm aware of so far, those people, for each one of those deaths, is now responsible for the death of those people, whether they knew about it, whether they knew that it was a crime, whether they killed the person or not, had a weapon, had intent to kill them, it doesn't matter. As soon as someone dies in the commission of a crime, you are now guilty of felony murder. Ask any black person in the 60s, 70s, and or 80s, or any other year who happened to be asleep in the back seat of a car when someone, most likely their friends or buddies, or even people they didn't know, decided to commit a crime and someone died during the commission of that crime. They found themselves sitting in court getting a life sentence. So each and every person that was part of that raid on the U.S. Capitol should, by law and by the definition of felony murder, be charged with felony murder and be facing 25 years to life in prison. No doubt about it. Please feel free to look it up, but don't even worry about looking it up because it'll be back here behind me. I'll make sure that the law is here for you to see so you can read it yourself. I'll even put a link in the description as to where I found the law. All of these people should be imprisoned for 25 years to life for felony murder. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget, COVID is still a thing. Please be safe out there. Don't forget your social distancing. Take care of yourselves and your families. I don't want to see anyone die or get hurt or get sick or lose a family member or die yourself. So please be careful out there. Wear a mask. Get your COVID injection. It's not that bad. I've had it. I'm waiting for my second immunization coming up next week. It's not that bad. No side effects. You'll be fine. Take care of yourselves once again. And by all means, ladies and gentlemen, please have a great weekend. Be safe out there. And by all means, don't forget to be the best heathens that you can be. And good night.